Alright, so, welcome to the first episode in Trails in the Sky, and also the first episode of my channel. I figured that since I'm going to start my channel, what better way than to start by playing the very game series that I love in anticipation for the release of the remake of this very game. I will be playing through the entire series. However, hopefully I'll be able to finish Trails in the Sky FC and SC before the release of the remake so I can play that on launch. So, I'm going to be 100%ing the game. Let's begin playing this, I guess. That's loading. Oops. We're going to play normal. I don't want to grind too much. I will be reading the lines, but I won't be doing voices. I'm not too good at voices. Daddy's really late. I even got a message from the guild saying he'd be home today, too. And Shara's gone traveling around the kingdom on some kind of training. Ah, Estelle, what a cute little ray of sunshine this child is. I'm so bored. Maybe I'll just practice with my staff a bit more before dinner. Hey, I'm home. Daddy. Sorry to have kept you waiting, Estelle. Did you take good care of the house while I was away? Of course I did. Did you run into any trouble, Daddy? Didn't you get hurt fighting the bad monsters, did you? Nope, I'm as fit as a fiddle. That reminds me though, I brought you a present. Really, what kind of present? A new fishing pole? Sneakers? Something for my training? Maybe I raised you wrong, Estelle. Aren't little girls supposed to like clothes and jewelry? Cassius, that's kind of sexist, don't you think? I like pretty clothes, but they just get dirty. Oh god. And jewelry breaks when you go out play with outside with it on. Oh boy, Estelle. What a joy you are. Anyway, Daddy, what's with the big blanket? Is that my present? Oh, you're a sharp one. Indeed, it is this blanket. Now why don't you come have a look? What? Well, here you are. Quite a handsome boy, don't you think? This is called slavery, Cassius. What? Why is my present a boy? Don't make such a fuss or you'll wake him up. Wake him up? You mean he's still alive? Looks kinda dead if you ask me. I've treated his wounds, so he should be in a stable condition. In the meantime, however, we'll need to let him rest. I'll put him to bed, so if you wouldn't mind heating a kettle of water on the stove, I'd appreciate it. Okay. We're just gonna glide over the fact he brought home a child. He sure sleeps soundly. And he almost looks the same age as me. This is the first time I've ever seen black hair like that, too. He certainly does have a nice head of dark hair. And a pair of amber eyes to go with it. That's nice and all, but how about you come clean and fess up? Fess up? Yeah, who is this kid anyway? And why is he hurt? Why'd you bring him to our house? Is he an illegitimate child or something? Did you betray Mommy? God, I forgot how funny she was as a child. Where you been picking up these kinds of words? No doubt from Scheherazade, I assume. Yep, that's right. For heaven's sake, that girl is going to get me into trouble one of these days with all her nonsense. Actually, I just met this boy while I was out on business. And I don't even know his name. You mean brace or business? Something like that. Oh, look. Huh? He's waking up. Wow, his eyes really are the color of amber. What? Where am I? So you're awake now, are you? Welcome to my humble home. You'll be safe here, so please just try to rest. What are you trying to pull? Jesus. You must be out of your mind. Why? Why didn't you just leave me there to die? Why, now there's a question I don't know how to answer. Does things just worked out that way work for you? Don't toy with me, Cassius Bright. You have any idea what you're getting yourself involved in? Hey. You're sure shouting a lot for somebody who's supposed to be hurt. Running your mouth like that is just gonna make it take longer for your body to heal. And jumping on him isn't gonna? And just who are you supposed to be? I'm Estelle. Estelle Bright. She's my daughter. Don't you remember me telling you that I have a daughter your age? Now that you mention it. Wait a minute, don't try and change the sub. Ow. I don't think that's helping. Quit yelling. Alright already. But why are you jumping on me like that? Isn't gonna make me heal any faster either. I don't hear you yelling again, do I? Look, jumping on me like that is gonna make things worse. Do I hear yelling? Never mind, just forget it. As a word of advice, it'd be wise not to argue with Estelle while you're in this house. Even I wouldn't stand a chance if I made her mad enough. Yeah, I can see that. By the way, aren't you forgetting something? Huh? Your name, you know, the thing that people call you. I thought your mind erased, don't you think it would be unfair and impolite not to tell me yours? It seems like the logical thing to do if you ask me. Trying to hide it now would only serve to your detriment. But, fine. My name is... We'll never know. It's lost to the ages. The Legend of Heroes. Trails in the Sky. Oh, that was her staff. I thought that was glitching out on me. There's the Ray of Shun sign. I always forget how Cassius looks so much more different in this old art style. Bird. Can't hear nothing. It's so bright in here. Yawn. I slept like a rock. That must mean it's Dad's turn to cook this morning. I wonder if that means Joshua's still in bed. Ah, guess that's a no. Well, I guess I better get myself ready then, too. Probably should. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to fight this camera, aren't I? I can already tell. I'm having to fight this. Nice, Joshua. Bravo. Good morning, Estelle. I hope I didn't wake you. Nah, I was already up when I heard you start to play. I can't believe how awake you are, though. Even the roosters still have bags under their eyes. Not that I mind, what with that siren song of yours gently lulling this beautiful woman from her slumber. What do you mean, woman? We're the same age and I'm hardly a man. Tisk, tisk, tisk. How wrong you are, Joshua. We may be the same age, but I am clearly the woman of the house. And that makes you something like my loyal follower, wouldn't you agree? Yeah, how fortunate for you. You could at least try and sound a tiny bit sincere. It really is a nice tune though, cheerful yet somehow wistful. I like the other songs too, of course, but this one's my favorite. What's it called again? The Whereabouts of Light. That's right, The Whereabouts of Light. I wish I could play the harmonica like you, Joshua. Sadly, it's a lot harder than it looks. It really is. Compared to what it takes to use a staff, I think the harmonica is much easier. It's really just a matter of concentration. You're probably right. I guess my problem is just that if I don't do something that uses my whole body, I start to feel drowsy. Okay, playing the harmonica is fine now, but how about getting some exercise too? All your hobbies are just sitting around kind of stuff, like reading and music. No girl's gonna be impressed with just that. Not necessarily true. Well, excuse me for being so unpopular with the ladies. Although I feel like I should be the one lecturing you about your hobbies. I mean, what kind of boy wants a girl who loves fishing, collecting bugs, and has a fetish for sports shoes? A fetish for sports shoes is a wild thing to have. That's enough talk about hobbies for now. And for your information, I graduated from blood collecting a long time ago. Blug. That was an unfortunate slip of the tongue. Really? I'll believe that when I stop finding beetles in the hallway. Hey, Estelle, Joshua. Morning, Dad. Good morning, Dad. Is breakfast ready? It's ready and waiting. Why don't the both of you hurry on down before it gets cold? Okay. I'm on my way. Thanks for the grub, Dad. Boy, am I stuck. Are you eating or inhaling, Estelle? Like people say, kids who eat and sleep a lot grow a lot. Well, make sure you're getting enough to eat. Or, well, make sure you get enough to eat, but don't forget to pour that energy into your work, too. That reminds me, you two are finishing up your training at the guild today, aren't you? That's right, it'll be a review of everything we've learned up to this point. And once we're finished, we'll be bracers, just like you, Dad. That means I'm not gonna let you treat me like a kid anymore, either. You still lack understanding, Estelle. You can only become a junior bracer in the beginning. Or in other words, a trainee. If you don't want to be treated like an adult, then you should work extra hard in your training to become a fully fledged bracer. Well, I'm not afraid of a little hard work. Just you watch and see what I'm capable of, Dad. I'll be so successful that it won't be long before I pass you two. That's the spirit. Let's see what you're made of then, shall we? Let's not start a rivalry here, you two. And Estelle, keep your focus on the task at hand. We'll have a test later on today, remember? Huh? Wait. What test? Please tell me that you didn't forget about the test, Estelle. You know, the one that checks whether or not we've mastered the skills we've been learning in training. Don't you remember Shara saying that if we failed, we'd be stuck with a ton of extra homework? Crap. Totally forgot. Now that you mention it, I guess I kind of remember saying something like that. Don't sweat it. I'm sure we'll manage somehow or another. I honestly don't know how you survived this long, Estelle. Your brain is like a sieve. Papa's sad. How could any child of mine end up with such a careless, over-optimistic personality? Ha! You're the one who raised me, so I definitely got it from you. I swear the two of you act so much alike, but whatever. We should probably head over to the guild soon, Estelle. Sarah's gonna be waiting there for us. Sounds like a plan. You know how crazy scary she gets when someone keeps her waiting. Oh, before I forget, it's my turn to cook dinner tonight. Is there anything in particular you'd like to eat, Dad? Any requests? Something I like to eat, huh? How about Ruin-style scalloped fish in a balsamic vinegar sauce? What's that? I think that's a little more than Estelle's cooking skills can handle. Or our stomachs. You're right, I just want to see what kind of reaction I can get. I'll just have to have the usual fried fish and omelet. No need for anything fancy, but do try to make something edible. How rude. What I can't actually say is wrong. Actually, I do have one favor to ask before you head out. I'd like you to pick me up a copy of the Liberal News from the General Goods Store. They're supposed to be getting the latest edition in today. Got it. One copy of the Liberal News from the General Goods Store. Received 500 mira. I'm rich. If there's any money left over, you can have it as your allowance. However, that means no wasteful spending. Alright, thanks, Dad. Okay, we're heading out now. See you later, Dad. Work hard and give Sherazard my regards. Alright. Oh. Ew. Oh. Crap. Hang on. I gotta go do something. Small little break. Alright. I have it figured out now. By the way, Dad, is it gonna be alright if you stay at home like this instead of going to the guild today? Unfortunately, I have a lot of paperwork to sort out. But don't you worry. I'm carrying a big enough workload that the guild's not likely to fire me anytime soon. That's not exactly the most convincing thing I've heard come out of your mouth. How about yourself? Shouldn't you be getting over to the guild? Charizard is waiting, right? Okay. Yep. Alright. Off we go to the Eliza Highway, I guess. Had a small little brain fart trying to figure out how to walk. Rowland, 49 Selge. Grand Gate, 259 Selge. Alright, here we go. City of Roland. Looks like we made good time. Not too early or too late either. We just barely graduated from Sunday school. I never dreamed we'd have to study so hard to become bracers. But you're in luck. Today is our last day of training. Truth be told, though, you're the one who signed up to be a bracer in the first place, so I don't know why you expected to get away with any less effort. Oh yeah, I guess I did. Alright then. Let's get to it and make it through this last hazing from Shara. You look ready to me. Let's go meet with Shara at the Bracer Guild over there then. There you two are. Good morning, Estelle. Good morning, Joshua. Morning, Ina. Good morning. Is Shara here already? Yeah, she's waiting for you upstairs. Once you finish today's training, you'll finally be recognized as members of the Bracer Guild. Good luck to the both of you. Thanks. We'll do our best. These will be our lifeblood. You'll spend thousands of hours scouring the realms upon these boards. The Star and the Hanged Man, the Hermit and the Magician, and last of all, Inversion through the Wheel of Fortune. This is a difficult combination. How should I interpret this? Good morning, Shara. Well, if it isn't Estelle and Joshua, this is a rare occasion for the both of you to show up so early. Since it's my last day of training, I figured, why not? I'm ready to get this show on the road and become a bracer myself. I'll give you credit for your enthusiasm, but I'm gonna work you hard today in either. But I'm going to work you hard today in every way I can think of to make sure that high-spirited attitude of yours holds up. I hope you're ready. I can feel that enthusiasm dropping already. Quiet, you. Every time I teach you something, you somehow manage to forget it. This training is my way of trying to keep some of that information in your head instead of letting it dribble out of your ears like it usually does. Wow, Joshua, Shara's picking on me. Don't worry, Shara. While Estelle may hate studying and rarely ever does her homework, Axa Ashley is overly naive and has a tendency to stick her nose into everything. Her instincts are sharp, so I'm sure she'll pick up how to use an orbment with some practice. Eventually. Probably. I guess there's not much I can do now except hope for the best. Hold on a sec, Joshua. Somehow I get the feeling that you weren't standing up for me. Well, that's odd. I'm positive I described all your best traits accurately. Whatever. By the way, Shara, what were you trying to predict with your tarot cards? Your face was really intent. Oh, this? I was just trying to get a vague reading about what might happen in the near future. Unfortunately, I don't seem to have been in the right mindset to interpret the cards correctly. You couldn't read the cards? Now that's surprising to hear. Actually, the more profound the meaning of the cards, the more difficult they become to interpret. But that's not important now. I think it's time we start your final training. I'll give you a brief rundown of all the information we've covered in your previous training. This is the minimal level of knowledge that bracers should have in order to function effectively. And Estelle, make sure you pay especially close attention to what I'm gonna say. Yeah. What would you like to know about orbments? Oh boy, here we go. Info dump. Orbments are mechanical devices which operate by using what is known as orbital energy. A variety of effects can be produced depending on their structure and the type of quartz or precious septum installed. Although it's only been about 50 years since their invention, these devices play an integral role in all facets of life, from lights, heaters, and other everyday products to weapons, magic, and even airships. In connection, this technological reform is commonly known as the Orbital Revolution. About bracers. Bracers are investigative and combat specialists who work to protect civilians and maintain the stability of their respective regions. They aid the community in various ways, such as exterminating monsters, preventing crime, finding lost items, and escorting people and goods. The Bracer Guild, which has established branches across the continent, manages the affairs of the bracers in each region. The Kingdom of Liberl, in which we live, sits on the western half of the Zemirian continent and abounds with nature and deep-rooted traditions. Liberl is proud to be one of the leading producers of septum on the continent and is known for its high level of technology used to develop orbments. Orbment technology has also been a key pillar of support for Liberl in protecting its independence as it has contended with neighboring nations. 10 years ago, when Liberl was invaded by the Erebonian Empire, it was the use of orbital-powered airships that saved the kingdom from defeat. Consequently, even now, our relationship with the Empire is somewhat sensitive. But thanks to the Queen's political finesse, Liberl enjoys peace. That's all, I think. Let's see, since we've got a mountain of stuff to do today, I'll let you off the hook this time with a condensed review. I'm going to speed things up now and move on to the practical portion of your training. Fix my mic there. Shara, how's today's practical training any different from the training we've done before? Since it's practical, that means you'll be experiencing things firsthand. Therefore, I'm going to have the both of you run through everything as if this were a real bracer job. So what you're saying is that there won't be any studying at a desk involved? Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. This time you have to go out and make a physical effort to accomplish your task. I'll make sure to have you work up a sweat, so I hope you're ready. Yes, that's seriously just what the doctor ordered. I didn't know what I was gonna do if I had to sit another day with my tush parked at a desk. I guess I got all worried for nothing. Well, suddenly you're all bright and cheerful, Estelle. Let's just hope that smile on your face lasts until the end of today's training. Okay, let's get cracking on your first objective, shall we? Let's have at it. Your first objective will be to confirm the details of the job you'll be performing. But before that, there's something I need to give the both of you. Ina, are they ready? Yes, they are. Alright, you two, go get one for each of yourselves. These are very important, so make sure not to lose them. Received Bracer Notebook. Bracer Notebooks serve as the official way to record the status of your current jobs. Also, anything you may hear or anything that you may find and wear. These kinds of things, of trivial things, can often become clues. No matter how insignificant something may seem, always write it down. Understood. Crap, this sounds like it's gonna be a pain. Oh. Please tell me it was my ears playing tricks on me, because I swear I only got one response. I'm sure there were two. Keeping an accurate account of events is an important duty for all bracers. So get with the program and stop trying to make this out to be more than it really is, Estelle. Okay, I got it. Make sure you do. Alright then, let's begin. Look over by the door. You can see that there's a bulletin board standing there. First, I want you to go check the job description posted there. Hang on. Wait, never mind. Training, retrieval. Client, Charizard, pay 500. This training will involve searching the sewers beneath Roland and bring back the contents of a chest. She's Charizard for details. Details of the job confirmed in the bulletin board and other important events will be automatically recorded in the Bracer Notebook. The Bracer Notebook can easily be found by clicking on the Books tab of the Items menu. It can also be accessed by configuring a bracer book shortcut in the configuration menu. Very good. It looks like you were able to see what was posted without any trouble. Checking the bulletin board is one of the most basic functions a bracer performs on their job. Checking regularly to see whether or not there are any urgent tasks which need immediate attention is also an important duty for bracers. Man, all this talk about duty is starting to cramp my style. Sure, there are a lot of rules to follow, but there's an equal level of responsibility in the job themselves. I think being a bracer calls for much more than just someone with a half-hearted attitude. I guess you're right. I also have to be more motivated. Is that so? Had a change of heart, had you? Have you? There's a typo there. I don't remember that typo. You betcha. Well, before all that motivation sneaks off somewhere, let's get to the work on your next task. What will we be doing this time? We'll be heading across the street to Mr. Melder's Orbital Factory and learning how to use its services. He has graciously taken time out of his work schedule to explain things, so make sure to be on your best behavior. Okay. Here's where you will learn how to use an Orbital Factory services. At an Orbital Factory, you can modify your orbments and synthesize support ports in order to use orbital arts. Arts have a wide range of effects and, if mastered, can be extremely helpful. The bracer business is a pretty risky occupation, so the guild has had a long-standing relationship with these orbital factories. Anyway, this is about as much as I can explain. I'll leave the technical details to the expert. So, Mr. Melders, if you wouldn't mind taking over from here? No problem, leave everything to me. So, what is it that you would like to know about? Orbments. Orbments are mechanical devices which exhibit an array of effects through the installation of various types of quartz. By definition, that means that lights, airship engines, and so on are also types of orbments. However, the ones that we'll be discussing today are battle orbments, which enhance the user's physical abilities and make it possible to use magic. Since each orbment is adjusted to match the owner's personal aptitude, the structures for these devices also differ for each owner. Simply put, the shape of the fixed elemental slots and lines which connect them vary. At any rate, that's the layman's explanation. In order to install cords, you must have an open slot. By default, the central slot is open, but the other slots must be open at an orbital factory, like this. It'll take a fair amount of Sepith too. EP, which is needed for magic, will also see a max increase according to the number of open slots. I recommend opening them all as soon as possible. So, what is it that you would like to know about? Simply put, orbital arts are magic, which can be discharged exclusively through the use of battle orbments. In other words, a number of peculiar effects can be produced by using the orbital energy stored within these mechanical devices. Since orbital arts can be a mouthful, they are almost universally referred to as arts. Probably ought to have called that from the get-go. There are several types of arts, but in order to be able to use them, their corresponding quartz must first be synthesized at an orbital factory. Orbments are also set up so that once a particular quartz is installed into a slot, the owner will be able to use those arts. The type of arts one can use also changes depending on the elemental value and the combination of installed quartz. Basically, if you want to use a water arts, all you have to do is install a quartz with a water elemental value. In reality, orbments are much more complex than what I have described, but I think this information should suffice for now. So, what is it that you would like to know about? Quartz. Quartz are circuits made from Sepith. Quartz have a vast number of effects and raise the owner's abilities while simultaneously making it possible for them to use arts. However, you will not be able to harness any of these effects until quartz have been installed into a slot. However, there are also fixed slots in which only a certain type of elemental quartz can be installed. This being the case, when you synthesize a new quartz, be sure to check your orbment and decide where you'll be installing it ahead of time. So what is it that you would like to know about? Sepith. Sepith are fragments of septum, which are dropped by monsters. They are divided into 7 types: earth, ground, water, fire, wind, time, space, and mirage. Sepith can be exchanged for Mira almost anywhere, but at the Orbital Factory, it can be used to synthesize quartz and to open orbit slots in which to install the synthesized quartz. So what is it that you would like to know about? That's it. It looks like Mr. Melders has answered all of your questions. Oh boy, my throat is tired after all that. If there's nothing else, then let's have you both try and use the services here. For that, you're gonna need some Sepith. Receive several of each type of elemental Sepith. With that amount, you two should be able to synthesize a few quartz. Now I want you to begin by first making an elemental quartz that will work with each of your particular ornament. In your case, Estelle, any elemental quartz is okay. But for you, Joshua, it has to be a time elemental quartz. Normally, at any shop, you'll be able to exchange Sepith for Mira, but for this training, you will not be able to use this service. Upon approaching the counter, a talk mark will appear. Pressing the OK button will display a list of options, like modify or trade to use the Orbital Factory services. Oh, good work so far. If you need to use the Orbital Factory, give Freddy a holler over there. Hang on, let me just... You didn't see anything there. Quartz. First we'll make an action one. Which one do we want here? HP or attack, I think. We'll go with attack. We'll make an HP too, why not? We'll put this on her. Time for its only action. Alright. So you finished installing your quartz, have you? Since you have both recovery and attack art set up, it appears you don't need any more instruction from me about how to do this task. If you balance your arts out between each other like you've done here, it should make dealing with monsters much easier. Additionally, your Bracer notebooks contain information about which quartz allow you to use which arts. If you'd like to use more powerful arts, check out the arts and quartz charts in your Bracer notebooks and find something that works for you. Alright. Our training here is almost finished. Last of all, I'm going to have one of you open a new slot in your orbit. The more slots you have available to you, the broader range of choices you'll have. Since EP, which is consumed by using arts, can have its max value increased by opening slots, it'd be a good idea to open them all early on. Now I want you to use this Sepith and open a slot in each of your orbits. Go ahead and decide which slots you're going to open. I keep trying to walk with WASD. I see you've managed to open one of your orbit slots, Estelle. Since your central slot is not limited to a particular element, you are free to install any type of quartz you like. This concludes your training here at the Orbital Factory. Now it's time to move on to what you've both been waiting for, the qualification test. Pardon? Did you say test? You can't honestly tell me that you forgot about the test. Again, can you? Didn't I remind you just this morning? Ha, ha, ha. Now that you mention it, I vaguely remember some sort of talk along those lines at the breakfast table. Sometimes I fear for the future of the Bracer Guild and humanity. Oh well, no sense in worrying about that now. Let's head over to the testing area. You mean like now? I don't know if I'm ready for it. How about a little less yapping and a little more walking? She's got dragged away. Joshua, help me. I think she's gone. Mr. Melders, ready. Thank you for all your help. Don't mention it. And good luck with that test of yours. We'll be rooting for you. I'm gonna remember that you left me high and dry like this, Joshua. All your training has finally come down to this. Your qualification test will begin here. I expect to see you both use what you've learned up to this point. Understood. What's wrong, Estelle? Shara? What now? I was kind of wondering, but is there not gonna be a paper test or something? Did Cassius drop you on your head as a child or something? You just read what it said on the billboard, not on the bulletin board not that long ago, right? Yeah, and I even made you jot down what you read in your bracer notebooks, unless you forgot that too. I'm pretty sure that job listing mentioned searching for and retrieving an item from the sewers. Ringing any bells here yet? What a relief. O divine Adios, I give thanks to thee for thine infinite grace in bestowing upon us such wonderful gifts as sewers. So what you're really saying is that you thought it was a paper test. No wonder you're acting all crazy back at the Orbital Factory. Ah, I can already feel the nostalgia. All these horrible days stuck in a classroom are starting to feel like grand memories indeed. I'm really starting to wonder if we'll even be able to graduate at all. What's wrong with you? Why do you have to go and say something like that when I'm trying to reminisce about positive things? Alright, that's enough jabbering, you two. This is supposed to be a test, so how about the both of you try to at least look a little anxious? Just so you know though, if you do happen to flunk the test, you don't even want to imagine the kind of homework I have in store for the both of you. We'll be fine. Just tell us what you want us to do and let us loose. Well, if you're so confident, then how about proving that you're not just blowing hot air with the results of your test? Anyway, as you both saw on the bulletin board, this test will be a search conducted in Roland sewers. Your objective is to retrieve the contents of a chest which has been placed somewhere within that area. The layout of the sewers is extremely simple, so you don't need to worry about getting lost either. However, there are real, living, breathing monsters down there. So if you get careless and let your guard down, you will be sorry. Also, let me give you this before I forget. What's this book for? It's called a monster guide, and is used to record information about monsters and other opponents you meet. Whenever you figure out an enemy's attributes, you should make an immediate note of it in there. Sounds pretty straightforward to me. He who controls the flow of information controls the tide of battle, right? That's exactly what I'm saying. You've really got a good head on your shoulders, Joshua. That's some pretty useful advice. Thanks for the tip, Shara. We'll put it to good use. Alrighty then, let's get pumped and knock out this test. Let's. Don't forget though, this is an exam. We should make sure we treat it as such. Just gonna go ahead and courtesy save before this so I don't mess anything up. Never know. There appears to be a recovery point set up over there. Let's use it if our HP and EP become low before engaging any further battles. Orbment charging stations are recovery points set up in dangerous areas. As a recovery point is approached, a exclamation mark will appear. Two choices will be displayed by pressing the OK button. By selecting the rest option, all HP and EP will be restored. Sounds like a plan to me. Full HP back. Monsters at 12 o'clock. Be careful not to let them take advantage of your blind side. Got it. Monsters cannot be seen from far away. They'll become visible as you approach them. The conditions at the start of a battle will change depending on how the monster is engaged. Engaging an enemy from behind is advantageous, while being attacked by an enemy from behind is disadvantageous. Disadvantage? Disadvantageous? Disadvantageous. Battle order bar. Indicates who attacks first. It starts from the top and moves down. Attack an enemy. You may also use it to move if you are using a mouse and click on an enemy location. The highlighted area indicates the distance a character can move. Selecting a target in this area will move the character to attack. When an enemy is out of range, an icon will appear on your cursor. Selecting an out-of-range target will move the character as close to it as possible. No attack will be performed. One down. Not gonna move to him. Not gonna move towards me. Oh, he's just gonna stand there. Okay. That's fine too, I guess. Ah. Dang. One turn. I was off by one singular space.
All right, we're good to go.
There we go. Got some Sepith. Got a juicy bone. Okay. Here comes some more. Depending on the enemy, some physical attacks may be ineffective. Let's use arts, not physical attacks. Okay. Arts are effective on enemies that are good at avoiding physical attacks. Arts also make long-range attacks possible, but they require time to be cast. EP is consumed when arts are used. EP can be recovered by resting at inns, hotels, or by using charge stations and other items like an EP charge. It takes time for arts to be cast. All arts have an element. Determine the element most effective against your enemy foe and use it. Well, it doesn't matter. It's all the same. Here we go. Finish this up real quick.
Piece of cake.
Indeed. Piece of cake, indeed. Estelle, try using crafts this time around. Since crafts have other effects besides just dealing out damage, they're worth a shot. Roger that. Crafts have range limits, but can be utilized instantly. CP is gained by dealing out or receiving damage during battle. That is still a very, very unfortunate name. Crafts are character-specific skills which not only deal out damage, but also have a broad range of effects. Using crafts consumes CP. CP is gradually gained by dealing out or receiving damage in battle. Morale.
Come on.
Yeah, we love help. Dual strike. Oh yeah, I forgot. This is his double attack. I forgot. Whoa, there goes damage. Attack him. There we go.
That's that then. Let's move out.
I'm gonna stop reading the menus. They get repetitive. Reviving Balm. The chest is empty. Because of you. Nice work, hero. I'm just gonna go ahead and run back and get some HP. The door is rusted and appears to be locked. Oh, what a surprise. Another creepy thing. I wish there were an easier way to take care of them. One blow using an S-Craft or S-Break should do the trick for just about any enemy. The catch is, our CP has to be at least 100 to pull off one of those moves. These devastating attacks can only be unleashed when the CP gauge is above 100. S-Breaks are actions which allow S-Crafts to be immediately unleashed while ignoring the battle order. S-Crafts, which are unleashed as S-Breaks, can be changed by going to the Tactics and then set S-Break within the main menu. These actions allow S-Crafts to be immediately unleashed while ignoring the battle order once the CP gauge has reached 0. S-Crafts, which will be used as S-Breaks, can be changed by going to the Tactics and then set S-Break within the main menu. Press the brake button to unleash an S-Break, and S-Break cannot be unleashed under the condition. Now, press the brake button to try unleashing an S-Craft. If you are using a keyboard, you may use the number 1 through 4 keys, or the arrow keys to select it for unleashing it.
Here I come!
Big damage.
Let's do this!
All right. That's over.
All right, we're good to go.
Nothing down here. So that's the treasure chest we're after, huh? If we made it this far, the rest is gonna be a piece of cake. Seems like we got a little breathing room at least. Let's pay close attention to our battle order this time. There should be a number of ways to get more mileage out of our actions. During battle, there are several bonuses which can be allotted to turns. Turn bonuses have the same effect regardless of whether they are allotted to an ally or a foe. Using S-Breaks to ignore the battle order makes it easier to jump in and strip an enemy of their turn bonus. These icons indicate the bonus allotted to the battle order. If a bonus icon appears next to a character's icon, they will be receiving that bonus. Heal HP, Sepith. Well, that didn't help at all. Alright, hit him again, I guess. Oh joy, who's gonna bully Joshua then, aren't we? Well, that's fine, I guess. Hit him. So Joshua will get an HP bonus. That I make that seem like it was intentional, but it wasn't. Hit him with feint. I'm just gonna snipe him from across the map. I'm too lazy to go fight him. There we go. Joshua once again taking out the enemy.
All right, we're good to go.
Joshua will be the main damage dealer here for this squad for a while. Found small box. That's weird. There's a couple of boxes inside the treasure chest. The fact that there's not just one, but two is kind of interesting too. Wonder what's inside. Remember, Estelle, our mission is to search and retrieve only. I'm pretty sure looking inside these boxes doesn't fall under our mystery objective. You're no fun at all, Joshua. This has nothing to do with our mission. It's what I like to call good, honest curiosity. You know, we're the only ones down here. We can get away with a teeny weeny thing, right? If you feel like flunking today's test, then by all means, be my guest. Did you say the F word? Yep, opening one of those boxes could result in an automatic failure for the both of us. If this were a real job, the contents of those boxes would belong to the client. And as long as they were nothing legal, we would have no right to open them. I know you're right, Joshua, but I just can't help myself. If you absolutely have to know what's inside, why not ask Miss Shara when we get back? But for now, we need to focus on getting out of here. Alright. By looking inside this chest again, you flunk. Just kidding. You think you're real funny, don't you, Mr. Chest? Real kidder, that one. Good work, you two. As a rule of training, I'm going to need to confirm the items in your possession. Yep, they're the real deal, alright. I don't see any evidence of tampering either. That was a close one. I figured you would try and set us up like that. Congratulations to the both of you. You've successfully passed your qualification test. You didn't really think that something that simple would be a problem for us, did you? So, Shara, what's in those boxes you had to get? That's for me to know, and you to find out. After your training is finished. That's enough chit-chat for now, so let's get back to work. You two still have some things left to do. Seriously? Wouldn't you just say that we passed the test? You still have to learn about how to report the results of your work. I'm aware that you're both tired, but this is no time to shirk your duties. Let's get back to the guild. When is this day gonna be over? Oh well, no sense in giving up when the finish line is in sight. Agreed, it seems like we're within reaching distance of our goal. Your final training is how to report to the guild. Whenever you finish a job, it is your duty to report the results of your work to the guild. Reporting how you resolved the situation and the steps you took to get there are all part of your job as a bracer. You can report your results to the front desk in each guild branch. As you already know by now, Ina is in charge here at the Roland branch. In addition, this is where you'll be paid for your work. I look forward to seeing great things from the both of you. Now that we're here, why don't you both go ahead and report the results of today's training? Upon approaching the counter, a talk mark will appear. Pressing the OK button will display a list of options. Select report to report to the guild. Current rank is Junior Bracer 9th class. Good job, you two. Seems like you're able to complete your objectives without running into any major problems. Another thing to take note of is that depending on how you handle a job, you may see an increase or decrease in the amount of pay you receive. When you report the results of your work to the guild, pay in the form of Mira isn't the only thing you'll receive. You will also accumulate points, which are known as BP, Bracer Points. BP are an indication of your achievements as a bracer. When these points exceed a certain value, you will advance in a rank as a bracer and be awarded with a piece of special equipment by the guild. The ranks of junior bracers start at 9 and go all the way up to 1. Please set your sights on making it first rank and work hard. The amount of Mira and BP you receive will also be recorded in your bracer notebook, so please have a look sometime later on. All that's left to do now is finalize your training. Let's head back upstairs, shall we? I'll talk to you later, Ina. And sorry about putting more work on your plate today than usual. Don't worry about it. Training new bracers is important for the future of the guild. I fully intend to work these two to the bone in any case. To the bone? And knowing Cheryl, it'll involve the whip. Kinky. Let me say it again. Good work, you two. You have now officially completed the entire training course. From now on, you'll be learning from your own real-world experience. Well then. Charizard holds out 2 small boxes. Aren't those boxes the ones... In answer to your question, yes. These are the boxes you retrieved during today's test. You seem awfully curious to find out what's inside, Estelle. Are you saying that it's okay if we open them? That's right. Why don't the both of you have a look and see what's inside? Sweet. Alright, let's have a look. Estelle and Joshua open the boxes. Received Junior Bracer Emblem. This crest is... So does this mean that we're... Ahem. Estelle Bright, Joshua Bright. Beginning this day at 1500 hours, you are both hereby appointed as Junior Bracers within the Bracer Guild. From here on, you will work as members of the Bracer Guild to support the livelihood of those around you, defend peace, and uphold justice. Congratulations, you two, and welcome into the fold. Did you hear that, Joshua? We've become members of the Bracer Guild. So I'm a bracer now, huh? I think the realization is only now just beginning to sink in. Come on, Joshua. You should be jumping for joy. Or running around screaming at the top of your lungs like this. Look at us now, world. We did it. I was happy until you made my eardrums bleed. I hate to interrupt the celebrations, Estelle, but I need to take off now. I have some backed up work that needs my immediate attention. We understand. You've been spending a lot of extra hours working with us during this busy time for the guild. Before you head out, Shara, I just want to say thanks. Likewise, I appreciate all the trouble you've gone through for us, Shara. Don't mention it. Training new recruits is one of the Bracer's many duties. Believe it or not, I was once in your shoes a long time ago when your father, Cassius, trained me. So that's why you have so much respect for Dad, huh? There's actually more to it than that, but I'll save that conversation for another day. As for the both of you, work hard to become full-fledged bracers early on, so you can help guide those new recruits who come after yourselves. And in time, I hope to see you both become respectable bracers like your father. Anyway, I'll leave you with that thought. I just don't get it. Get what? This is Charizard, aka the Silver Streak, one of these skilled young bracers we're talking about. So why is it that she holds Dad in such high esteem? He just seems like nothing more than a no-good middle-aged man who's always out doing who knows what instead of being a father. A no-good middle-aged man, huh? From your viewpoint, it doesn't come as a surprise that you would see him in that fashion. Huh? Never mind. Let's hurry and head home. We should let Dad know that we qualified as junior bracers. Right. Congratulations, you two are now official members of the Bracer Guild. From now on, I'm going to be passing jobs out to you like candy. Bring it on, is all I have to say. I look forward to working with the guild. Hi there, Estelle and Joshua. Oh, hi, Ridge. Looks like your training's over, isn't it? I'm humbled to know that you two are the youngest ever to pass the Bracer exam. I look forward to working with you in the same capacity. Ourselves as well. I have to get back to work now, but if there's something you don't understand, give me a holler. Request. Hurry up and come on. Wait for me, Luke. Huh? Oh, it's you two. Oh, great. It's Estelle. Hi there, Joshua. Oh, you little twerp. What's with the, oh, great, it's Estelle remark? What's the big hurry? How about telling us where you're headed? You're not thinking about wandering out of town alone, are you? The roads are full of monsters, I hope you know. You're such a pest, Estelle. Don't you know there's no room for girls to be sticking their big fat noses in boys' business? Quit acting like you're a bracer, you wannabe. Tisk tisk. How wrong you are, Luke. How incredibly wrong. You're more wrong than a fool who thinks there's better tasting milk in Liberl than the milk that comes from the Purzel farm. What? No way. You're full of it, Estelle. In fact, as of just a few minutes ago, we qualified to become real racers. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Real racers. Unlike racers in training, really. Don't think you should be in on your high horse just yet, Estelle. Now a high pony, on the other hand. Quit being a killjoy. Wow, you two are great. I'm so happy for the both of you. Oh, Pat, you're such a good little boy. Unlike that smart aleck, cynical brat you call a friend. This isn't fair. I was supposed to become a bracer first. I can accept that Joshua became a bracer for me. We're getting passed by the likes of Estelle. What's the likes of Estelle supposed to mean? Just so you know, you can't even be a bracer until you're 16 years old. Get it? Only mature people allowed. And that means no little kids who are still going to Sunday school. I don't know how I should put this, Estelle, but Sunday school is dying to have you back. You better watch out, Estelle. I'm gonna go train at my secret base, and before you know it, I'm gonna be a bracer too. Come on, Pat, let's go. Alright, I'm coming. See you later, Estelle. Bye, Joshua. That boy, Luke, he's always trying to pick a fight with me. I wonder if he just plain hates me or something. Rather, I think it's the exact opposite. What do you mean by that? Don't worry about it. It's just a boy thing. At any rate, what do you think Luke meant when he said secret base? I don't know why, but it somehow makes me a bit curious. I know exactly what you mean. A secret base sounds really intriguing. The pure heart of a young child can be so inspiring at times. That's not really what I meant by curious. Where's the... We'll hit the store to buy the magazine later. Just a warm day today, isn't it? I'm not gonna read everything that pops up. It's just way too much dialogue in this game to read it all. The two of you really become bracers? What? How'd you know? Just because working in the media is my future goal. I'm gonna join the Liberl News Service and work hard as a reporter. Don't take my information lightly either. Oh, sure thing. My gut feeling says the two of you are gonna be in the tabloids. Well, thanks. Isn't it romantic that you two lovers are bracers who stand for justice? I have this feeling that a juicy drama is about to unfold. Lovers? Joshua and I aren't lovers, we're family. You really don't understand anything, Estelle. Josh was adopted. Things could go either way in the future, right? Plus, leaving it at that would surely please the readers. Readers? Anyway, I'm looking forward to the both of you in more ways than one. The two valiant bracers who had each other's backs attempt to escape from the crisis. This is so riveting. Here it is. This is the house I need to go to. Thanks to the airliners in recent days, even Roland has been able to get a good selection of books. And thanks to that, I find myself compelled to buy a new one each time I head to the store. But I get yelled at by my wife for getting so many, so maybe I should cut back a bit. Women, ruining everything, not allowing us to have fun. I've only got the first chapter of this novel, so if you want it, I'll give it to you. I just can't find the book I'm looking for. I think this is his wife. This is almost certainly not his wife. Just when I thought Luke had come home, he took off out the door again. I told the boy the dinner was almost ready too. That boy's always running around like his pants are on fire. He just can't sit still for 2 minutes. Really, I should be talking to all these characters twice if I want all the dialogue, but I'm gonna be honest. That'd take too long. Alright, we gotta go to the store now. For my wife's sake. I missed that there. Here it is. This is the general goods store. Hello there, Stella and Joshua. What are you in the market for today? A new pair of shoes? Now that you mention it, are there any new ones in stock? You know, like the newest Stregas? Unbelievable. You're actually already forgotten why we came in here to begin with. We're not here to shop. We're supposed to buy a copy of the Liberal News for Dad, right? Of course. You've always been a big collector of those shoes, haven't you, Estelle? I'm afraid that the newest Stregas aren't out yet. I do, however, have some copies of the Liberal News, if that's what you're after. Alright, I'll take one copy then. That comes to 100 mirror, please. I know my dad always buys a copy of this magazine, but does it really sell that well? It sure does. Liberal News has an excellent reporter and a camerawoman who have done a great job reporting the latest and most reliable news. They're even supposed to have a running story related to Queen Alicia's birthday celebration. But enough about that. Why don't you tell me how you did today? Did you make it as bracers? Today was your last day of training, wasn't it? Yep, everything went smoothly too. How'd you know about all that, Mr. Renan? In a certain sense, both you and Joshua are like celebrities here in Roland. I tend to hear a lot of customers coming through here. I shouldn't have expected anything less from Roland. The grapevine around here is seriously something to be reckoned with. No kidding. The women here especially love to gossip. One more thing. Before you go, this gift is my way of saying congratulations. It's a free sample item I've received with my shipment of goods, but don't hold the free part against me. What's this supposed to be for? There's a ton of blank pages. It's a recipe book, isn't it? You got it. You get hurt fighting if you just limit yourself to healing bombs all the time. It's gonna cut pretty deep into your wallets. This is where a recipe book comes into play. If you eat food to recover your strength instead, it's basically free. Assuming you have all the ingredients anyway. So if you eat something new, write down what's in it, and you'll have lots of recipes in no time. So how about we try this out? Go ahead, eat this cookie, Estelle. Well, I have made it a personal rule to never turn down sweets. Basically, all you have to do is eat the food to learn the recipe. It's as simple as that. If only life was so simple. As you're traveling about, you should eat whatever food you come across that you haven't had an opportunity to try before. Well, that sounds pretty convenient. It's not that I don't like cooking and all. It's just that I never seem to get any better. I'd sure love to be able to increase my repertoire and really shock my dad's taste bud for once in my life. That's the spirit. And in passing, if you're in need of any ingredients, I'd be delighted to service your cooking needs. You really know how to solicit your customers, Mr. Renan. Thank you for the recipe book. We'll put it to good use. Oh, does he not have it? You'll have to buy that later then. We need to buy a second copy of the Liberal News 1 for the achievement. Estelle, Joshua, I'm glad I found you two. Oh, hi, Ina. Something wrong? You seem to be in quite a hurry. We've got a bit of a problem. Is your father at home today? Yes, he is. He said something about having to sort out a bunch of documents. What's going on? You know Luke and Pat, right? Sure we do. In fact, we saw them not that long ago. What's wrong? Are they in some sort of trouble? I don't know how to say this, but I just heard from Uni that Luke and Pat ran off to the tower that lies on the northern outskirt of Roland. You mean the Tower of Ismales? Isn't that place supposed to be a breeding ground for monsters? That's what they say. Unfortunately, at the moment, Scheherazade is out on other bracer business, so I want to ask your father to bring those boys home safely. What are you talking about? There's no time for that. Joshua and I will go after them and bring them back. I don't know if that's such a good idea. The two of you only just qualified to be junior bracers today. With all due respect, I believe that Estelle's judgment is correct in this situation. If the two of us hurry, we may even be able to catch up with the boys before they reach the tower. I understand. I'll take responsibility for whatever happens. As an emergency request from the Bracer Guild, I ask that you lose no time in bringing about the safe return of these children. Roger that. Understood. The Ismaelas Tower can be reached by taking the western path at the junction along the Malga Trail. You can get into the Malga Trail through Roland's northwest gate. I'll be on standby at the guild, so if you run into any trouble, you know where to find me. This is our first real job. Come on, Joshua. We don't have any time to lose. I'm right behind you. Alright then. So, I think this video is getting to be long enough. So, I'm going to end this here. If you enjoyed the video, then please like and subscribe. And if you have anything you want to say, then please comment it. Thanks. See ya.